for coming along, ladies. We'll just get started. So as Leslie says, this is called our Disco Chat webinar. This is only the second one that we've had. The first one was Graham was doing affordability. I don't know if anybody managed to get along to that, but basically it's just a wee 20 minutes presentation and a wee discussion, and then you can get back to your work. So So it's just very informal, just a wee chit chat. And we thought one of the good things to maybe talk about was working from home. So I'm just going to try and share. I've got a wee presentation, so bear with me, because this is always the panicky bit that it doesn't work. Right, can everybody see that?
Yep, thank you.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, good. Is it big enough? Yeah.
It's good. I think just to kind of emphasise what you were saying, Lisa, it's not really, a lot of this is about you kicking it off and other people giving their good experiences about or bad. So we're sharing good practice. So yeah, I'll shut up now, Lisa, because that's probably quite important.
That's fine. Okay, so again, welcome everybody to our second disco chat. So, as I say, Graham held the first one, it was on affordability, and that went really well. So we thought we'll try it again, but this time we were looking for subjects, and I thought, well, everybody's working from home just now, so that might be a good subject to kind of cover. I looked at the national statistics, and it says in April 2020, nearly half, so it's 46, just over 46% of people were now doing all of their work or most of their work at home. So taking out obviously the shop workers, the NHS workers, the bus drivers and stuff, majority of people are working from home, and it's quite new to everybody, and a lot is a homeschooling as well, so it's quite trying to juggle things. Usually you've got your separation, your work, and then you've got your kids and your family are separate, and everything's kind of together. So we thought this would be quite a good subject. So the first thing I want everybody to do is, if you can go into the chat and just put in the chat, what do you enjoy about working from home? And I'll give you a wee minute to do that, just to see. Flexibility there. Less interruptions of people passing by. An extra hour in bed, I like that one, Alan. Peace and quiet, I don't know about that. Great commute, yep, definitely. Tracy can get through lots of work due to less interruptions. Close to the fridge, yeah, that can be a good thing and a bad thing, I think. Putting on the washing machine, having the dog by my side, yeah, definitely. Okay, and then I want you to think about, what do you not like about working from home? What do you think is the main thing that you don't like? Yeah, the social interaction, I think, is a big thing. Missing people. Yeah. Lack of contact with colleagues. Can be isolating, have 6 dogs in the background. Wow. Frustrations with technology and no immediate support. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Chatting over lunch. Yep. My kids don't really want to hear about housing when I'm on my lunch. Interruptions and isolating. Yeah. Communication, can't pick up wee snippets of information that can be useful. Yeah, that's definitely something I've found. So thanks very much for that, everybody. So what I've done is I've listed 5 of my likes and 5 of my disadvantages. So they're very similar to yours. I put down as one of my favourites is I can wear my slippers all day. I don't need to wear heels or uncomfy boots and go home with sore feet. And it's amazing. I'm sitting here with my fluffy slippers on just now, and I'm sure some of you are too. No stuck in traffic. So the commute, and before I was travelling through to Stirling, and I enjoy driving, but as you know, you get stuck in traffic and that's it. You can't do anything else, and that can be really frustrating. And if you've had a stressful day as well, it adds a lot of time to your working day as well. And I was leaving when it was dark and coming back when it was dark, so I'm not missing that, I must admit. Comfort of your own home as well. You can just get up out your bed. I've set up my desk now in my bedroom, so I feel as if I've turned into a teenager again. I'm constantly in my bedroom. Don't have to get up at the crack of dawn. I am sleeping on a wee bit longer than I probably should be, but then I'm making sure that I get the kids up in time for school and stuff, getting them organised and whatever, and then I can sit down and concentrate on my work, and I can be finished my work as well at 5 o'clock and then come downstairs and get my dinner on. So whereas before it was maybe another hour and a half before I could come home and get the dinner on. So more family time. I've said I'm enjoying having more family time. It's definitely, we kind of get away from it just now. Disadvantages I've put down, having to be disciplined. I think you need to be a lot more disciplined when you're doing it in the house, because as Leslie says, you can go, I used to do it in the kitchen, like my work, and I'd be sitting going, that floor's needing a wash, or I need to put a washing on, or oh, I could hang that washing out. Whereas I wouldn't be thinking about that if I was in the office. I'd maybe be thinking, oh, thank God I never put the washing out because it's pouring outside. But when you're in the house, I think you've got to think, right, this is what I'm going to do, and you've got to kind of structure your day, what you're going to do. Finding the room in your house to have your own workspace. I don't know about MD else, but I don't live in a big mansion, so my husband's working from home, I'm working from home, and then the 2 kids are homeschooling as well. So it's trying to find a space where you don't get interrupted constantly. I'm usually sitting here and then that door flies wide open and the dog runs in even, and I'm trying to do a meeting. So yeah, it's trying to do that. The social aspect, a few years have already pointed that out. That is probably one of the major things I'm missing. It's good doing this, and it's good that we're able to do this, but it's not the same as meeting each other properly and sitting down, having a cup of tea and having a proper meeting. And it's even that way when if you're maybe having a kind of stressful day, you can turn around and say, have a chit chat and talk about the telly or something like that. You can't really do that when you're working from home. Eating too much, somebody mentioned that as well. I think they put that as an advantage, going to the fridge. I think that's definitely a disadvantage for me. I think I've put on about a stone or a stone and a half since I've been working from home. So, and too much family time, I've said, because we're on top of each other here, and I feel as if that's put a bit of stress on our family time as well. One year she was finished her classes, so she was going to go on in blocks or something like that, and I says to her, no, I don't want you on the internet because mum's getting an important meeting, so she's away in a huff just now. So so it's all these things that we need to cope with. So that's what I've put down. Moving on to my next slide. So some good reads for tips on working from home. There's an article in the Times, and I can share all this with you later on, and it talks about your mental health, because I think working from home and not being able to drive to your work and do the kind of normal things that we do and seeing other people, whatever, it's all obviously had an impact on our mental health. And it talks about maybe staring at a screen for too long and making sure you get up and go out for a walk and stuff like that as well. So it's quite a good article. So I can certainly send that round to you all. I also went on the internet and there was a guide for 10 tips to home working. Now I'm sticking to them all. There's a lot of things that I'm not doing. I'll say, yeah, I'm definitely going to do that tomorrow, and then I don't do it. So it talks about routine as well. So again, having your day structured. Exercise, going for a walk, even if it's freezing. I was going for a walk every day with the dog, and then when it snowed, I was like, I'm not going out there. So it's trying to be kind of disciplining yourself to exercise as well and get a bit of fresh air. Make sure you speak to one person at least per day. I speak to, obviously, I've got my husband, I've got my 2 kids in here, but if I see my neighbour out at the bin, I'm running out and saying, oh, hi, how are you? Just to kind of speak to somebody else. The other day, me and my neighbour actually went for a walk, socially distancing, of course, but we went for a walk just down to the local town and then back up, and it was great. And she lives alone. Well, she's got 2 kind of older daughters, but I think they spend all their time in their room, so it was good for her as well to kind of speak to somebody else, so enjoyed that. You probably all know about this, but you can apply for tax relief as well for working from home. I think it's £6 per week or something, but you're as well doing it. I think it's quite easy to do. You just go on the HMRC website and you can apply for it, and it's a wee bit of help there anyway. Don't struggle alone financially and mentally. Ask for help. There is no shame. So a lot of people are obviously maybe working from home. They are struggling mentally with it. Speak to somebody. Tell them how you're feeling. If it's having an impact on you financially as well, speak to somebody. I mean, we're all kind of not in the same boat because people's circumstances are different. But I would definitely say speak to people. I'm doing a mindfulness course just now, and I've just started it, and it's not something that I'm used to doing because it's all about looking after yourself and caring for yourself, and as a mother and a wife or whatever, and I've got 2 elderly parents that are constantly ill. You never ever get the time to kind of look after yourself, so that's quite a good thing for me to do. So it's kind of retraining me to kind of say, actually, you do need to look after yourself now and again. You're not always there just to look out for everybody else. Sometimes you need to look after yourself. So there's lots of help online, and there's lots of YouTube videos and stuff, and there's things like Headspace and stuff like that. So I would definitely recommend doing that. But I can share these things with you. Somebody else contacted us just today, actually. I'm trying to see the name of the website now. And it's Mind Genius, and they've done an article on home working as well and homeschooling, so I can share that link with you as well. Okay, so that's just my wee quick disco chat, as we call it, about working from home. So I'm happy to have a wee discussion or take any questions, or if anybody wants to say if there's anything they're struggling with, please share it with us and see if we can all help each other. I'll just stop sharing this just now. Stop presenting.
I've got my hand
Leslie,
up.
you got your hand up.
And I was always the first person to put my hand up. It was just about the routines thing, and this might sound a bit bonkers, but for me, it's I get up every morning, I walk the dog, I come back, and I put my makeup on, and I put on slightly work clothes, not suits or anything formal, but slightly work clothes, and then when I'm finished my working day, I get changed into my not work clothes. And it does pile up the wash. That's why I said about I like putting the washing machine on. It does make the washing and ironing a bit more than you would expect, but it just really works for me because I feel as though I'm lucky enough to have a room. I've got an office in my house that I am separating my work life and my home life, and I can just go out and shut the door and go and get changed into my home clothes. So that really works. It really helps me. It really works for me.
Yeah, I think you are really disciplined, Leslie. You do really well to do that. I get up and I put a smart shirt on, but I've probably still got leggings and my slippers on now. Tracy?
I would just like to say for you girls that are homeschooling, I don't envy you one bit. Honestly, my children are grown up. My eldest son, he's actually a school teacher, secondary school teacher, and my other one is at uni, but I honestly don't know how I would cope because I just don't think I could do it at all. So hats off to you for those that are doing it. But can I just say, I have done a mindful course as well, and it was back, I think, in October, November, and I think it was for 4 weeks, and it was via Zoom, and it was through work. We got the opportunity if we wanted to go, And I said I would go, and it was fantastic. At first, I thought, because the girl who was doing it, she was getting us to do yoga and stuff like that, like some exercise. And for me, I find that quite embarrassing. And then I thought, you know what, everybody's in the same boat as me.
Yeah.
Let's just go with it. And it was actually really enjoyable. And if the opportunity arose, I would go again. It was very, very good. It was great.
I must admit, I was a wee bit, because she was getting us to mindfully taste fruit. So we had a bit of fruit, and we were to smell it and feel it and have our eyes closed and hear it, if we could hear it, and then put it in our mouth. But when you put it in your mouth, you weren't allowed to chew it. So that's no me. As soon as something's in my mouth, I'm chewing it. So I put it in my mouth, and I'm sitting going, this is weird. But then it was all about, once you did chew it, actually tasting it and savouring it. And it was a grape I had, and it was like one of the best grapes I think I've ever ate. And I think it's because I took that time with it. So it's trying to kind of teach us how to do that. And I was thinking, this is really weird. But then at the end, we done like a meditation thing. And thankfully, we were allowed to like turn our cameras off. And I went and lay down in my bed, and she was like doing the meditation thing. And I had the best night's sleep that night. Yeah. And I think it was because of that. I just felt so relaxed. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it. And that's only one session I've had.
Well,
Dolly?
Sorry,
Tracy.
No, you're fine.
You okay?
Yeah, you're fine.
I was just great presentation. Good. Oh. I was just gonna yeah, it's great. You have to teach me how to do slides. I was gonna just talk about the importance of getting out of your actual environment, because home is suddenly not a place to come back from work to kind of relax. It's very much everything's at home now. And of course that builds up like cabin fever, and how important it is to get out and get into that routine of actually going for a walk, even if it's just for 5 minutes after meetings, because I don't know how other people feel, but when you have a whole line of meetings, that kind of, how do people cope with that digital fatigue that's now starting to set in with people? I just wonder what people's thoughts were on that and how maybe they cope with it.
Yeah. Anybody want to?
Do you know, Dolly, I don't know if there is. And I think the easiest thing is to say no. Because you're going from back to back digital meetings, and as most you'll know, I travelled huge amounts. I don't know where I got the time to travel, and I'm now saying to folk, rather than saying, oh yeah, I can do that, I'm saying, can we put it back a couple of days? And folk are fine. They generally say, yeah, that's okay, not a problem. So I just think you have to be more. So Dolly, Lisa, the lesson is, if I ask you for a meeting, just say no. And quote it back at me again, but you said it was okay.
No, but I think you're right. It's exhausting. I mean, you're just sitting looking at a screen basically. Do you know what I mean? But I think it's so much more exhausting than actually physically going to a meeting and being with people. I don't know what it is. I think it's just staring at a screen. I don't know. But yeah, no, I would definitely say, and it is something that, as I say, I need to try and do every day, is at least go for one walk or get a bit of fresh air or a change of scenery, because sitting in here constantly on the computer, it's just no good for you. My sister works for First Direct, the bank, and she takes calls, and she does like 12-hour shifts. And she's still doing 12-hour shifts at home in a wee office. And she's saying she's sitting in it, and I thought, I just don't know how she does it. I honestly don't know how she does it. She must be going crazy. But unless she's telling me porkies, and she's no. But yeah, she's. I think they still get monitored and stuff because their calls get monitored. So I would imagine she is. There'll be breaks in there, but it's just not getting that time to go out and get away from your desk. I mean, you need to do that when you're in the office anyway. They recommend you do that. So even more so, I think, when you're actually stuck in your house and you're not able to go anywhere else. Anybody else want to talk about anything, or? We've got Diane was saying that she does yoga twice a week, and it gives her a really, really good sleep. I used to do yoga as well. At the end of the yoga like that, they used to do a wee meditation thing. And half the time I think I did actually fall asleep at the meditation.
Yeah, it's really
it was
good.
So relaxed. Yeah.
Yeah, I think getting into the swing of doing something for yourself, you know, as you were saying. I don't know if you see my wreath at the back here. I started making these maybe 3-4 months ago for Christmas, and seemingly it's quite big in America, so I just keep carrying on. So every time it's somebody's birthday or a baby's been born, that's what they get. You know? It's just if you've got something that you can focus on rather than work or your normal routine, it's definitely keeping me sane.
Yeah, definitely. That's good.
I think Elaine and I looked at, so it was called the Wee Retreat.
Oh yeah.
And they had, this is terrible actually, they had armchair yoga, and it was free. I thought, well, Mrs. Tight here, I'm up for that. So Elaine said that she would go for it as well. And then I spoke to Elaine the next day. She said, did you sign up for that? I says, no, I didn't. She says, why do you not? I says, because I read the criteria. You had to be an amputee. So, so I don't know whether we'd actually, you have to show you were an amputee. We decided that it probably wasn't relevant for us to go on that one. So yeah, be careful what you choose, folks. You have no idea what you might be getting into. Yeah. I didn't do it, but I think yoga's a really good idea. But I think the other problem is that for those of us with dogs, that when you start doing yoga exercises, you quite often find that there's a large paw. You know.
Yeah. I think I would get licked to death if I tried to do. I mean, I've got quite a bad back. I need to lie down and do back exercises now and again, and the dog just jumps on me and it's like licks me all over the face, and I'm like, get off. So I need to make sure he's in another room with somebody else or away for a walk before I do them. But yeah.
There's the other exercise I have to suffer, and it's cats. Trying to like avoid the cats interrupting a meeting because they're like there, or there's a tail going by, and that's my yoga exercise.
That can make your meeting quite interesting though, when you're sitting talking to somebody and then all of a sudden a cat just appears.
Leslie, were you in the meeting when my dog decided he was coming up on my knee?
Yeah.
Not the
I think
smallest dog either.
Meetings with children, meetings with cats, meetings with dogs, all variety of meetings where someone brings someone their breakfast. And I'll say, well, you know, what about me? And I think
for some.
For me, one of the things is about, you know, you go to a meeting and then you have a cup of coffee and you go to the toilet and you faff about endlessly. And then you do that on the way back. And I think that's one of the things, because you're just like, no faffing, you're just right in there. Sorry, Teresa, you wanted to.
No, I was actually, it was just off the back of what you were saying there, Leslie, because I've got 6 dogs here at the minute because my sister's staying with us. Luckily, we have got a big house. We're out on a farm, but so it can be quite stressful. But I was going to say that what I try to do with my own team is, because people find that stressful, or they think that others are going to be, you know, kind of judge, oh, your child's come into the scene, your dog's come into the scene, my husband walked right past the back of me the other week while I was in a committee meeting and went to his desk. So, but I try very hard on every conference call I do with my team to say, you know, wins and dogs allowed, so don't MD panic, you've all got your headsets on, there's nothing confidential that their family members are hearing or anything. And I think that's quite important, because I know it's a stressor for me if I think other people are expected me to be all, you know, I'm in my house, so the dog does bark at the postman, and there's not really much I can do about that. So it's important to make sure others don't feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, we're all human beings, living in our houses with our family round about, so these things are going to happen. So I think we just need to laugh it off and not get stressed out about it. But so that's me finished. That was really good. For anybody that joined, I noticed there was a couple of people joined late there. We've recorded this, so if you've missed the presentation, you can watch it back. It will be on our website. Okay, but thanks very much for coming along, everybody.
Nice
we will have another disco chat.
Nice to see you, Adele. Nice to see everybody.
Nice to see you. Okay, have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye. Bye, Adele.
Bye-bye just now then. See you
Bye.
later.